is the Sports Timeout Podcast with Tony Caranco and your host, Wes Underwood.
Sports Timeout Podcast.
Yeah. All right, Tony. No ghetto taco sight and sound, so you don't have to talk like you're from the ghetto. But yeah, nothing from this past weekend. But welcome into the Sports Timeout Podcast, brought to you by Jefferson's and Robert's Integrative Dentistry in Joplin. Go check out Robert's Integrative Dentistry, as they now offer teeth whitening and Invisalign. So if you're in need of a brighter, straighter smile, call them today at 417-622-0404. Wes Underwood, along with Tony and Jensen. Welcome in, guys. We got a lot to do, but how are you?
Good.
Ready to get back to the finals.
Yeah. Well, first we got to take a sports timeout. According to Tony, I can't even replicate that. So kudos to you.
Sports Timeout Podcast.
Yeah. And we'll end it right there. No, we'll go ahead and start in the NFL, and we'll talk DeAndre Hopkins. The guy was released after 3 years in Arizona at his request. I mean, this after no one wanted to rework the deal, which I don't blame him. $30 million was due. And yeah, I mean, it makes you wonder what the price for the whiteout is. But yeah, I don't know. Nobody else really wanted to float that bill. If they did end up trading for him, it would have been a third-round draft pick or better. A lot of people not wanting to do that. But the question comes due to the fact OBJ has been having, a better success after being injured, and he got a 1-year, $15 million deal. So seems kind of weird that no one wants to pay Hopkins despite him having a better catch rate and he's healthier. But teams are really few here because he wants a contender, and the top two are the Chiefs and the Bills. So yeah, what's everyone's thoughts here? I mean, get a deal done for less or more than OBJ's $15 million, and will he sign with the Chiefs or the Bills? Tony?
He's going to the Jets.
I don't know.
Because I think they're a top contender there too.
They are.
I really think. I think they're really going to put it to Kansas City this year.
But after all that money on Mecole Hardman and everybody else that's gone there, Lazard, Cobb came over. I mean, Aaron Rodgers got his guys.
I mean, if he wants to win,
I agree with you. But does Rodgers really want to win, or did he just want out of Green Bay?
Yes.
So which one?
Yep. I agree.
Okay. Jensen.
Honestly, I have zero thoughts about this whole fiasco.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I mean, we could all go have a darkness retreat real quick. Come back after a few weeks, right? Maybe that will brighten our ideas here.
Strange guy.
Really is. Nice hair, though, I guess. Nice hair. I'll give it to him. Next up in the NFL, we talked the Patriots and Matthew Slater, who ripped on the NFL's kickoff rules. And he didn't take it lightly, but the Patriots captain, whose 10 Pro Bowl berths is an NFL record, by the way, for a special teams player, he sharply criticized the league for last week's rule change that allows fair catches on the kickoffs for the 2023 season. And I mean, if y'all have been paying attention, kickoffs are probably going to come to an end in the NFL unless if something happens from the players. But he says the NFL claims to its player belief that we, the NFL, want to portray ourselves in a certain way to the public that says we care about players. But I can give you a long list of examples where the league empowers that B do not act in the best interest of the players. So my question to you is, guys, as fans, is this too far, or do you agree with the changes, Tony? I mean, you played, so what are your thoughts there?
Yeah. So whenever I was on kickoff, I wouldn't like that personally.
Yeah.
That's funny because I never played kickoff. I was always too slow. But yeah, I don't agree with the change. I mean, I can see them wanting them to be safer, and I think there is a way. I think the way the XFL does things is honestly the perfect way.
Yeah.
I love it. They're literally 5 yards apart from each other. about to hit each other, so they don't get a whole lot of speed. They still hit each other hard, but but it's really more like a block because you have to be technical. You can't just mow each other over, because you need a little bit of skill to it. But point is, I think they could do something like that. But I feel like they don't want to do that because I feel like they're like, oh, the XFL did something good, and now the XFL is going to start getting maybe more viewership, even though it's not during the same season. But if they maybe they don't just want to give XFL the credit right now for some reason.
Yeah.
I can see them doing that because honestly, in my opinion, I like that kickoff style more than I like the one that the traditional.
You mean The Rock actually has good ideas? All right, all right.
Yeah.
Jensen, your
You
thoughts?
smell what the Rock is cooking?
Could be. Very well could be.
Wait, I have a question, Tony. So why does the XFL, like, why do they do it different than NFL in the first place?
I mean, so they want to try different ways because basically football is the way that the NFL is being more regulated has a very negative thought on the sport. It's basically so they're basically doing everything the NFL isn't. But obviously they're not as big as the NFL. They don't bring in as much money as the NFL, but they are trying to get there, and I think they eventually could get somewhere close. But I think the NFL is always going to be the NFL. But
they've won St. Louis.
yeah, so I went to a Battlehawks game about a month or so ago, and that's the St. Louis team, and they play in the St. Louis Dome and everything, and it was a great time. Up to the third level, there was people, there's 4 levels, and it was pretty much full.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's more than the Rams were getting, at the end of their St. Louis Rams days. So it was a great time. I think that St. Louis is a great market for what they're trying to do. But like I said, they're just doing stuff differently, a little bit different. You can challenge like pretty much every play, I think, but I think if you lose a challenge, like you lose yardage or something like that. I can't tell you the rules like off the top of my head, but it's pretty. There's a lot of good to the XFL that I think the NFL can take some notes from.
So the XFL like has a safer approach for the players.
Mm,
I mean, it's like yes and no.
Yeah, I mean, it's always going to be dangerous regardless. I mean, there always has to be a danger factor. That's why people like football because it's a little bit dangerous. It's you can be on your back foot and like come back still. I mean, you can be against ropes and still come back. So there's always going to be danger. But I mean, but in regards to kickoffs and kickoff returns, yes, it is safer.
Yeah.
Like they have 3-point conversions in the XFL. The NFL only has 1 and 2. In the XFL, there's 3-point conversions. You have to start at the 10, and you have to run a scrimmage play, so you can't kick it. You have to like run the ball or throw the ball, and you have to make it from the 10.
Yeah,
and you get 3 points.
It's got its own twist, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you could be down by 18 points, which in the NFL that's a 3-scoring game. In the XFL, it's just 2.
Yep, it's crazy.
Comebacks are a little bit crazier.
Yeah, which a lot of fans like. So
yeah.
And moving on, we'll go into the NBA and we'll talk finals. It's Jimmy Butler and the Heat versus the Joker and the Nuggets. Last night's game was fun if you're a Nuggets fan. I mean, they had a 17-point advantage going into the halftime, and things looked good there for Jimmy Butler's team and the Heat, and then things just kind of fell apart, and in the end, Nuggets came out on top. I mean, look, I think the Nuggets are the complete team, to be honest. I mean, you got Gordon, MPJ, the Joker, Murray, and I mean, the Heat, you've got Hero when he's healthy, and Butler, and I'll throw in Bam, but that's about it, in my opinion. And if they don't click, which we kind of saw against the Celtics, where they won 3 straight and then lost 3 and then came together to win. And then last night we kind of saw them come out strong in that second half, and then boom, they just lost it again. But I know, Jensen, your thoughts on this one?
I think that the Nuggets are going to win it all. I don't really think the Heat have a chance. I think it's good for viewership because I mean, Jimmy Buckets, Himmy Butler, all of the phrases, playoff Jimmy, he hurt my Celtics. But I don't think that they have a chance against Joker. And it's like awesome because I know that Denver, it was their first time in franchise history even getting to a finals. So winning the finals, it's gonna be awesome.
I mean, Mizzou alum, gotta love it, Jimmy or MPJ there. I mean, I also like the Chicago Bulls, so it's kind of a love-hate relationship between the two teams here. And really, at this point, since my Bulls are out, I could go for either one. So, Tony, is
I
it
mean, as
Michael
long as
Jordan's
they have,
son?
yeah, he looks like it. But as long as they have fun, man, that's all I care about. Um, so at
Hey,
the end of the day, I don't know enough about basketball to give an educated opinion on it, but
Nuggets.
um, yeah, I mean, it sounds like the Nuggets should win, right? But if
Sure.
that's the case, I want the Heat to win,
Yeah,
just because, out of
I see
spite.
you there. I see you there. Kind of did the same thing in the Super Bowl with the Chiefs, so you know.
Absolutely, 100%.
You came out on the bottom there. So,
I did, but I'm going to do it again.
Come out on
all
the
right,
bottom again.
Super Bowl champs. There we go. All right, cool. And
Yeah.
lastly, in the NBA, we'll go ahead and talk 76ers. And well, last week we talked Doc Rivers and Nick Nurse emerging as top candidates for the Suns job. But Nick Nurse signed with the 76ers, and not only did he get that job, but now he's making promises that if Harden stays for his second-year option and maybe even go a little bit longer if he can talk him into it with the Sixers, they would be good enough to win it all. I mean, that's a pretty big sell for a guy like Harden. I mean, he put up 21 points a game last season, led the league with 10.7 assists per game. I mean, if Harden elects to stay, will they compete and become champs? And I mean, will you have Champ Nurse over there, or will you just have Coach Nurse, Jensen?
Coach Nurse. I'm honestly a Harden hater, so I never really want to see him do well.
I agree.
So but I don't think that they're good enough to compete. Even like they couldn't be either of these teams, I don't think, that are in the finals right now. So
You've got
No.
Embiid too, and like he's stellar every game, but he just really doesn't ever have a surrounding cast around him.
yeah, agreed.
And then you get guys like Harden, who like is known for not playing defense, and then you get a Ben Simmons who, oh, see ya, peace out.
Yeah.
So
Useless Simmons.
he
Yeah. I
was.
just I just don't see like Nurse. I don't think I'm not saying he's a bad coach by any means, but I'm saying that like in the NBA, I think it's more about the players than the coach.
Yeah,
So if they
I'm
couldn't make
saying
it this year, then why would he make it?
they
Like why
they
would he?
they should have kept Doc, and then hired Nurse, and then they could have had the Doc Nurse. I don't know, something
Yeah,
like
but
that would have been fun. I mean, those two minds together, I think, no pun intended there with the names, but kind of is. But yeah, I think they really would have done something great. And I think they could have surgically moved through the teams and could have won a game. But yeah, my best there, you know. And next, we go ahead and talk Sporting
the
Kansas
dad
City.
jokes in full effect.
Yeah. Hey, I am a dad now. So you got them too. I bet you do.
Daddy West.
Sporting Kansas City. They had a stellar game last weekend against the Timbers.
Hold on. I give more of an uncle vibe. I am a dad, but I give more of an uncle vibe.
Well, grow that mullet back out and I'll believe you. But yeah, Sporting against the Timbers last week, they won 4-1, earning 3 points, moving up the table. That's big for them. And then they took on Dallas Wednesday after a rain delay that they came out dominant and played a great game. They ended up winning that one 2-1. The extra point there, it was 2-0, but the extra point from Dallas, I mean, just came right after extra time. So it was a good game overall. Tomorrow they host the Whitecaps, though, who are in 6th place now in the MLS after their dominant win over Houston, 6-2. And I mean, look, there are 18 games left for Sporting. 10 of them are at home. The last game of the season is at home, which is pretty huge for them. And if it comes down to a clincher with the last game, they've got to do that. They are now in 11th place in the West. They're not in last anymore. They have a great chance to go on a run. They just need to believe and do what they can and find that confidence. And I believe they will make the playoffs. I really do. I mean, you'll get Agata back. He's kind of the heart and soul of that team along with Johnny Russell. And you get him back, pressure will be off of him because a majority of the team is playing now. I like the odds here. Tony, do you agree?
Yeah, sure. Let's do that. I agree with it. Yeah, man. I think the fact that they're getting Dada back is going to be huge. They're definitely missing him, and you knew how crucial he was at the end of the last season. He was popping off goals every game.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. So no, I think it'll be good to get him back, and hopefully he's at full speed.
Yeah, I agree. And lastly, into the NWSL we go. We talked the Kansas City Current. Last week, they lost yet another tough one at home, and it was to the Dash. They returned home to face the Courage while on a 4-game losing streak now. I mean, look, this team is searching for answers, and things look to be heading in the right direction after the 2-game winning streak, and now fans don't know what to think either. I mean, the playoffs are doable, but it's going to take a lot of work yet again. I mean, they have 14 games left. Half of them they will have at home. And they almost have to be perfect again, just sitting in last place because of things that have happened. And I don't know, confidence is down or something. I mean, coach last week said that they were feeling great. They had that game in the bucket and then they ended up losing. So they've got a good coach. They've got the talent, in my opinion. Things just need to happen. And Tony, are you excited to go see a game here pretty soon with me?
Yeah, man. I think it'd be a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun last year when we went.
Yeah.
Always pretty good atmosphere.
It is. And on that note, we'll go ahead and head into the local sports update brought to you by Trackside Burgers. And they are open at 1515 West 10th Street in Joplin. And go get some barbecue from them this weekend. I got a chance to catch up with Webb City High School baseball junior Drew Vonder Haar, and we talked about making the Final Four and their game this weekend. Here's that for you. And we bring in junior Webb City baseball player, Mr. Drew Vonder Haar. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good.
That's good. And if you don't mind, we'll go ahead and kind of recap the game last weekend a little bit. And, you all played Saturday. You scored that first run and the fourth as pitching was kind of in a duel. What was your mindset going into that at bat? I mean, you ended up scoring on that single, but tell us a little bit about what you were thinking.
Going into that bet, I was leading off the inning, and so I kind of knew getting the leadoff guy on would be pretty big. Not a whole lot of offense going into that inning, it had been going by pretty quick. Both pitchers were pitching really well. And, you get on base there. It's big, brings a lot of energy. And then Christian Brock moves me over to third on a ground ball, which is big, did his job. And then Kinley Hood with the big base hit to right field. He's been coming through a lot for us recently. It gave us a ton of energy.
Yeah. Saw that. You guys had really good energy going into that game and afterwards too, obviously. But what was coach's reaction for you all after going up 4, like you said, crucial innings between a pitcher's duel? But I mean, I'm sure Doning had just a little bit something to say to y'all.
Oh yeah, he was. Are you talking after the game?
During that point in the game when you went ahead 1-0.
Oh yeah, he was excited. All of us were excited, everybody. And whenever we do score that run, scratch that run across, everybody gets excited, including the coaches. After we score that run, it's all about keeping the energy going into the field and making sure you don't lose it.
True, very true. And they would answer your first run with the 2 runs, and then you guys tie it back up on size single with the bases loaded the next inning. And then in the 6th inning, just kind of briefly talked about it, but you singled, as you said, and then the sack bunt over to second. Then you were hit over by Hood and then ventured off of third, heading for home after drawing a throw towards the catcher. I mean, what went through your head in that moment as you put the team out in front again? I mean, Darnell Kaler was up there at the plate at that point, and he was just kind of, I saw a big grin on his face, and then, but.
Yeah, so I got on first to lead off that inning, and Landon Johnson laid down a really good bunt for me to get to second. And then, like you said, Kinley moved me over to third. And so I was on third with 2 outs. And going into that game, we had done some scouting, and we knew we could take advantage of some of the stuff they did defensively, specifically their catcher. And the plan was, so whenever he dropped to his knees and threw the ball back to the pitcher, I was gonna run home and score that run, but didn't quite read it correctly. As everyone saw, made it a little dramatic. And the catcher, I saw him throw it down to third. And so as soon as he threw it to third, I kind of took off, and the third baseman threw it to the catcher, and it hit me in the shoulder, and I dove in there, and I was safe. And we all got really excited. It was awesome.
Yeah, it was indeed. It had everybody going, that's for sure. And now I kind of want to talk about your bullpen. You mentioned the pitcher's duel. You all have been pretty stellar out of the pen with Kaler and Sweet and some other guys in there. They're hurling the ball for you guys right now. Is that helping the momentum just go your direction, or you guys feeding off that energy, or is it something else?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, Kaler started a lot of games for us recently, and he's pitching really well right now. It's every time he goes out there, you feel confident. You feel like you're going to win the game with Kaler. He's doing a great job. And then, after the 5th, 6th inning, you put Walker Sweet in there. Walker's dominant on the mound. He's awesome out there. He gets the job done. And, besides Walker, we have a couple other guys who definitely can step in there and get the job done. We're really deep in pitching, and I feel like we all feel pretty good about that. And it's something that you could definitely feed off of for sure. Something you could definitely feel good about going into a game.
Yeah. And moving on, this will be the first trip in 13 years to the state semis. What does that mean to you personally? And what's kind of the energy been right at practice right now?
Oh, it's awesome. It's really cool knowing that, you go back to the Final Four for the first time in a long time. It's cool for the town. And practice we're all trying to keep it the same, try and do everything the same way, keep the same routine, same energy we've had all year. Don't really want to change anything. So
yeah,
but it's all looking good. Everybody's super excited to be here, obviously, and we're really motivated going into this weekend. So really confident.
Awesome. Y'all take on St. Francis Borgia at 1 p.m. today at Sky Bacon Stadium in Ozark Mo. What should we expect in this matchup, and what's something you'd like to see from your fans?
I feel like it's gonna be a good game again. Both teams are really good. Both teams are really good pitching and defensively, and so I feel like it'll be another pitcher's duel. But if we can scratch a couple runs early, I feel like that'll be good for us. Get a couple runs early.
Indeed. And then something you'd like to see from the community out of this one. I mean, they showed up big at home.
Oh yeah,
and down in the Osho too. Don't get me wrong there, but
we've had a lot of support recently. It's been great. Just hoping to see the same thing again on Friday and Saturday. It's been awesome. Awesome
indeed. Well, thank you. Congratulations and good luck.
Thank you.
In the game today. So yeah.
Thank you.
And go check them out today at 1 p.m. in Ozark. Winner of that game plays tomorrow in the state championship. And we now head into the 2-minute warning brought to you by Hot Stone Pizzeria. Not feeling like cooking this weekend? Go grab a spicy pep red sauce, house sauce, and some house cheese as well. Mini pepperoni, jalapeno, buffalo sauce, and hot honey. And we now have Outlaws Baseball, and they had their home opener yesterday. Go check them out tonight. They will play at Joe Becker Stadium. It's fireworks night against Des Moines. So, yeah, go check them out tonight or tomorrow. And tomorrow they take on the Show Me League at 7. It's also Joplin Humane Society night. So, lots of fun to kick off your weekend. And, the music's here. So it's the end of another episode for Tony, Jensen, and myself. Have a great and safe weekend. Make sure you all go get some Ghetto's tacos from the food truck or the taco shop this weekend and get your festivities on. Get some tacos. I know that I'm going to be trying to get my pool back up and running. How about you guys? Anybody doing some pool time? Going to the beach? What's up?
No, probably not.
No?
I mean, yeah, we've been at the pool for over a month now here in Houston. It's hot.
Must be nice. Must be nice.
Actually, I lie. I'm going somewhere and I'll be at a pool. I can't say because it's a surprise, which I just kind
smell
of
the
gave it away.
chlorine. I could smell that on you there. That's why I asked.
Did you know the smell of chlorine is actually pee?
You know, on that, we'll see you next week.
Sorry to ruin that for you.
Peace out, everybody. Have a good Tony. Take us out with Sports Timeout.
Sports Timeout Podcast.
See you all next week.